73% of companies are continuing to evolve and improve their software security practices. And as such, companies are becoming aware that as they use open source software, they need to become more aware of what those dependencies are on the open source components that they're using. These companies need to proactively and regularly monitor all the components there for usability, trustworthiness, and the vulnerabilities. The key thing here is it's a never-ending process, right? So you're always evolving, you're always making it better. According to the OpenSSF Foundation, less than 50% of companies surveyed have a security policy. 50% of the companies have one, 34% do not, and 17% of the respondents didn't know if they did or not. They were, for while they know, it could be done at a later date, it could be done, but the 17% of the respondents didn't know. So the key thing that you want to focus on, these best practices or this process that you want to look on, so you need to figure out the best practices for improving software transparency. The key thing there is SBOMs, right? The U.S. government has mandated SBOMs for a lot of their work. So you need to understand what components are in your solution, not only by way of versions, but also by way of licensing, okay? Best practices for vulnerability classification, right? Assessment and mitigations. So you need to understand how you evaluate, how you mitigate, how you remediate. Right? Best practices for vulnerability detection and reporting. Like once you've got your assessment, you need to be able to detect and be able to report and be able to show that your traceability says that you've been able to resolve that CVE. Right? And then the best practices for managing security incident responses. So you want to have a PCERT team, right? Which would be able to understand the impact and be able to, in some cases, notify your solution or your customers whether or not there is a vulnerability and what you're doing about it.